Well, guys, it's another blown game. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies video cast, and today we're going to be recapping last night's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. The Phillies lost 5-4 to the Mets. Yet again, they blow another game. They had a 4-0 lead in this one, and we gave it away like we always do. Our bullpen is absolutely atrocious. Hector Neris, his appearance was absolutely terrible. He balked. He allowed all these base runners. It's absolutely pathetic how bad our bullpen is. I cannot stress it enough how bad our bullpen is. Now, today, we are actually joined by John, who joined the show last year to recap the game against the Mets as well. So, John, it's been a year, so thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Luke, and thank you very much. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Now, the Phillies lose the second game of the series. They easily could have won the series. They could have. Today should be a salvage game for the Mets. That's really what I was thinking last night. Today should have been a salvage game for the Mets. Last night should have been an easy one. You're up 4-0 and you blow the game. John, what were your thoughts on last night's 5-4 loss to the Mets? It's another bullpen letdown.
I think it's just a confirmation of what we've been seeing all year and actually last year, too. In fact, you and I talked about this in the off-season. The Phillies really need to get pitching. You know, they did get Wheeler, which was a plus, but they didn't do anything to really help their bullpen. And if I could just share a couple quick stats with you, for example, the Phillies have led in 41 of their 48 games, if you believe that. And another one, if you look at how many games have the Phillies lost in our division after we've been at least 3 runs ahead? The Phillies have lost 6. The Braves have lost 1. The Marlins have lost 0. So these guys have the bullpens to hang on to their leads. Now, if you look at last night, there's an example right there. We get the Mets on the ropes because their ace reliever had to leave the game. And what do? They bring relievers in for 7 innings, totally shut us down. 1 run, 1 walk, only 1 walk. Okay, now if you look at us, we got a good outing out of Wheeler after he hurt his finger, and he still pitched 7 in the 3rd innings. What do? We bring our relievers in 1 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs. That's the game. Neris, he's our best closer. I mean, what did we put up with him for 3 years now, and we still can't do any better than him? He might be a good fill-in for a 6th, 7th inning guy and change his pace with his sinker and all that, but he's not a shutdown reliever, and he constantly puts people on base. He makes it so easy for the other team.
Yeah, he does.
So that's my ranting about the pitching. I don't see us getting this pitching staff. I mean, if we do, we probably won't last long. We just cannot win with this pitching.
I agree. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. And I'll read you another stat that I saw this morning. It says the Phillies have a 7.05 ERA. The bullpen has a 7.05 ERA, which is the second worst in baseball history to the 8.01 ERA by the 1930 Phillies. And 7 of the 13 worst bullpen ERAs in history are by Philadelphia baseball teams. And that was put out this morning, and that really just shows how bad our bullpen has been, and especially in history as well. I mean, it's just I leave it up to the Philadelphia teams for you. It's absolutely pathetic how bad our bullpen is, and that really is the stat you said about we've led in 41 out of the 48 games. That just shows how important the bullpen is, because you look at our current record right now. Yeah, it's absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. Yeah, it really is. Now, let's get right into the scoring summary. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, it started off great. Andrew Knapp doubles on a ground ball to right field. It deflected off of Dom Smith, and Gene Segura scored, and it's now 1-0 Phillies lead. Andrew Knapp is getting some playing time due to the injury of Tate Realmuto, and he's taking advantage of it. He's having himself a very, very solid year at the plate. Was able to collect that extra base hit off of Jacob deGrom. John, what do you think of what Andrew Knapp has been able to do in the batter's box this year?
Well, he's been a huge surprise. I mean, I've always liked Knapp. I like his attitude. I like he's a team player. I certainly saw him as let's say, a reasonable backup catcher. But I tell you what, he's really he's done well. He's definitely played much beyond my expectations for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been amazing. I mean, he's a nice switch hitting catcher too, which is a huge bonus. And then
right.
in the same inning, Adam Hazley hit a sacrifice fly to left field. Andrew Knapp scores, and the Phillies take a 2-0 lead. So we were hitting Jacob deGrom really, really well, and we played fundamental baseball in that inning. Something that we didn't do the rest of the game. We'll get to that a little bit later. We did play fundamental baseball in that inning. Great job by Adam Hazley to hit that sacrifice fly to left field. But Andrew Knapp just continues to just have so much success at the plate this year. And as I said, he's getting playing time due to the injury of J.T. Muto. Has still not been placed on the AIL. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then Andrew McCutchen reaches on a fielder's choice, and it was not a very good throw from Andres Gimenez, and Wilson Ramos dropped the ball, rolled right past him, and Scott Kingery is able to score, and the Phillies take a 3-0 lead. But Wilson Ramos is such a terribly defensive catcher. He continues to make a lot of boneheaded decisions. He couldn't catch the ball there. It was not a very good throw from Jimenez, but you gotta make the tag. You gotta hang on to the ball. So pretty just an all-around bad play for Wilson Ramos and the Mets. Bottom of the third inning, Gene Segura homers on a fly ball to left field, his 6th of the season, and the Phillies now take a 4-0 lead. He continues to hurt the Mets. I mean, I love to see it. And that was his 6th of the season, as I said. But what do you think about what Gene Segura has been able to do against the Mets, like in his career so far? I mean, he hit that walk-off home run against them last year in June, and he's just really he had a 4-hit night last night. So what do you think what he's been able to do?
Well, he reminds me of a lot of guys that killed the Phillies. I mean, he seems to be a Met killer, and but it's interesting if you look at the box score, and I don't have it in front of me, but he got 4 hits. I think either the rest of the team either got 1 hit each or none at all. So he was a big part of our offense last night.
He was. Yeah, he's the only guy who got a multi-hit game last night. Yeah, he was. And that was great to see. I mean, I hope that he could start to heat up because he's really underperforming. Then at the top of the 4th inning, this is when the Mets start to come back. Robinson Cano grounds out to third base, and J.D. Davis scores, and the Mets now make it a 4-1 ball game. Then at the top of the 6th inning, J.D. Davis does it again. He homers on a fly ball to right field, a 2-run shot, his 6th of the season. The Mets now make it a 4-3 ball game. And then at that point, I knew we were going to blow the lead because it was the 6th inning, 4-3, and we had a lot of bullpen to go the rest of the way. What were your thoughts when Davis hit that 2-run home run to make it a 4-3 ball game? I just had a feeling we'd blow it.
My first reaction was we better score some more runs because otherwise this is going to be a loss because there's no way our bullpen is going to hold these guys. Not that these guys are all Hall of Famers or not, but they're a decent team. And, you know, if we don't have any pitching, they're going to beat us. So I was just saying to myself, hey, we better score some more runs or this will be another loss.
Yeah, and we didn't. And that's why we did lose. And then in the top of the 8th inning, after we get 2 quick outs, J.D. Davis doubles on a sharp fly ball to center field. Michael Conforto scores, and the Mets tie it at 4. Michael Conforto walked with 2 outs, and he was able to see. First of all, he did not run initially from first base. He was really moping, and then he was able to turn on the Jets. And luckily for him, he was able to score. But that would have been a close play if he just would have continued to mope around. I don't know if he maybe thought it was a home run, but nevertheless, the Mets tied at 4. Then at the top of the 9th inning, we intentionally walked Jeff McNeil, and Hector Neris is on the mound. He balks earlier in the inning. He just looks absolutely terrible. And then Andres Gimenez singles on a line drive to center field. Ahmed Rosario scores, and the Mets now take a 5-4 lead after we were up 4-0 yet again. We blow another game as Hector Neris continues to struggle. As John said earlier, he's just been absolutely terrible this year, and I just question what his future is with this team because he's so unpredictable. And Roman Quinn just doesn't have a very good throwing arm. And the Mets take a 5-4 lead, and they go on to win by that score 5-4. Once again, I mean, what were your thoughts when we blew that game last night? I mean, I was not surprised at all, as you said earlier.
Right. Well, two things I'll say is that number one, the Mets didn't play great. I mean, I can just think it back. They missed a tag at second on I forgot who was stretching it into a double. The guy didn't put the tag down. He dropped the ball on home plate. He didn't catch it. It wasn't a great throw, but he could have caught that. And I forgot they made one other mistake. But the thing that I was a little disappointed in, and I love this guy, Hazley, he should have caught that ball out there in the outfield. That's why the guy didn't run. He thought that was going to be an out, and he just got to the ball late. I mean, you could tell he jumped high enough, but the ball, he just didn't get back there. And you know, and again, maybe he's not used to playing that position, but he should have made that play, and that could have really helped us.
Yeah, and I also want to go back to the bottom of the second inning where Bryce Harper had first and third with one out, and the first two pitches go right down the middle of the plate, didn't swing, and there's a ball in the dirt, and he swung and missed at it. Struck out on 3 pitches. That was an absolutely terrible at bat. And then Andrew McCutcheon gets picked off at first base after that, and that's the final out of the inning. I mean, I don't know if you saw that, but what a terrible at bat by Bryce Harper, who was great with hitting with runners scoring position last year. This year hasn't been the same story. His RBI totals have gone way down. What did you think of that at bat?
Well, 2 things about that you just said. One is that he's totally out of sync. I think he's psyched out. If you watch him bat, now that was a little different on that one you just talked about, but they're throwing him fastballs in the strike zone, but high and outside. He cannot get to them. He is constantly either striking out or fouling those off. So he's just not getting around on the ball and staying in. And also that bonehead play of getting picked off first base. McCutcheon, he even pointed to his head after they showed him getting up after he got picked off. He pointed to his head like, and I believe it. It's a bonehead play, you know. I mean, major leaguers, you cannot make mistakes like that.
Right. I agree 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And as you go to your point, Harper was a rough night. Last night, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He's now batting .243. Just go back to him for a second. What are your thoughts on this? Like, went from having a really good season to having a very, very disappointing season. I think he'll get out of it, but man, this is not good for him right now. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think number one, you got to stop counting on the guy and putting pressure on him. I think we need to be, as much as we can, start playing small ball the rest of the year. You know, you got Hoskins out, JT's out, Bryce is basically out. You got your 3 main power hitters that aren't able, either not throwing at all or they can't hit the ball. So you better put guys in there that can put the bat on the ball and score some runs. And of course, then the question: can our pitchers hold them or not? But it's just we don't have the offense that we had before either. So that's another challenge.
Right, exactly, and you know, as you said, I think we just need to lower expectations with Harper. But yeah, our offense is definitely hurt right now, really, really bad. And a lot of the guys that we're producing are not producing either because they're not performing, they're injured. There's been a lot of factors that have played into that. I mean, it's really, really rough for our offense right now. We're going over to Zach Wheeler, 7 in the third, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a home run allowed last night. First start since coming off of that middle finger issue he had with the crack nail. What were your thoughts on his start last night? They showed a picture of it, and it was not look comfortable, that's for sure. I can't imagine going up there with that finger and pitching. That looked very, very uncomfortable.
Well, to be honest with you, when I heard about he hurt his finger on some fruit action and put his pants on or whatever he was doing, I thought, wow, what a big baby, you know. But in hindsight, you look at that guy he was a gutsy playing last night. Look at it. If you saw his finger, and he pitched 7 in the third innings.
Yeah,
he kept us in the game. I mean, you couldn't ask for more of the guy. The more I see him, the more I like him.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think he's really, really lived up to the contract that we gave him, especially in the first year at least. I mean, he's been great, and he pitched well enough to get the win last night. But unfortunately, the bullpen didn't do his job. You know.
Well, not that. If you think about it, thinking about next year now, which I don't want to blow this year off yet. We could still get in, but if you think about next year, you got Nolan and you got Wheeler. There's your 1 and 2. nothing. What
Yeah.
else is after that? It's like you got
Exactly.
the bullpen, and you don't have a 3, 4, 5 pitcher.
Right.
Maybe Howard will keep improving. I'm
No, I
impressed
think
with
he'll
him.
stop. But yeah, even after that, I mean, we need a stronger pitching staff all the way around. Bullpen rotation. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
We need
as much as I love JT, if they took that 20 million, 25 million, who knows what he's looking for. If they took that and got 2 good pitchers, I'd be okay with him leaving. As much as I love the guy, we need pitching.
I could see your point. Yeah. Yeah, I could see your point. I mean, like if you could just spend that money on something else. It was like what the Nationals did when they lost Bryce Harper. They went out and signed Patrick Corbin, and they went out and signed like Kurt Suzuki and made some other minor acquisitions, and that was good enough to win them a World Series. So sometimes losing a big player isn't the end of the world if you can go out and make up for it like the Nationals did. But losing JT would definitely be a big blow for this Phillies team. But there was some roster moves that were made yesterday. Mickey Moniak made his major league debut last night. He was called up from the Phillies alternate training site, and made his major league debut as he came in to pinch run in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies placed Jake Arrieta on a 10-day injured list with a right hamstring strain, and they also placed Kyle Gorick on a 10-day injured list with a right oblique strain. So what do you think of the Jake Arrieta injury? It seems like when it rains, it pours with these injuries. And this is Arrieta. I know he's not having a great year, but we need, as you talked about earlier, we need as many guys in our rotation as we can, and this is not good.
Well, it hurts us. I mean, the last couple of times he's pitched, he's battled. I will say that. And
right.
Will I be sorry to see him go? No, I won't. But he's right now.
Yeah.
And I think he's basically done. You put somebody on a 10-day disabled list now as a pitcher, you're done. So.
Right. Yeah. I just said the other day. I think I was his last start as Philly. No question. Yeah. I mean, because it's the season's basically almost over, and as you said, he had a similar problem 3 years ago, and he was out for like 17 days or something. I read. So it's most likely probably the end of his tenure with the Phillies. Which is not a great way to end it, but pretty disappointing way to end your tenure with the Phillies. But what are your thoughts going forward here as the season pretty much is coming to a close? What do you think about what we're going to do the rest of the way? Just to wrap up the show here, we got the Mets, we got the Blue Jays, the Nationals, and then the Rays to finish off the season. Definitely a tough schedule. Do you think we could do it? We're at 24 and 24 right now. I think it's a toss-up. The odds are still in our favor, but we have to start playing better. Our bullpen has to step it up. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I agree. I think, the only thing that's really saving us right now is the expanded schedule, the expanded playoff schedule. We might sneak in. My chances are we'll get beat in the first round because pitching usually dominates in the playoffs. But hey, I'm still rooting for them. I'm still hoping to get in the playoffs and, have a little excitement. But it's, I'd say it's probably no better than 50-50 right now that we even get in the playoffs because, we just talked about guys that we've lost and Harper's not hitting and, it's just that we've got a lot of obstacles in front of us right now.
Right, I agree. And now all these injuries are popping up. Hoskins, they said surgery is not out of the picture, so that would be a big blow. We lose him for the rest of the season. JT with that sore hip as a catcher, that's never a good sign to have a sore hip. Jake Arrieta probably out for the year as well. So he had that injury last year with the bone spur. So a lot of these injuries are starting to come back to bite the Phillies. But it's not all our bullpen. It's just our bullpen's so terrible. Even if we didn't have these injuries, I guarantee you we'd still be having a lot of the same problems that we're having. But offense needs to stop getting so content and just going out there and scoring some runs. So, John, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Hopefully have you on again soon.
Okay, Luke. Good luck to you. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, guys, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Please check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hot Stove Instagram, at Hartford Fanatics Instagram. Email me, phillieshotstove@gmail.com. I am Luke, and I will talk to y'all later. Let's go Phillies, 7-5, the first pitch tonight as the Phillies try to not lose the series. My gosh, man, we really cannot lose the series. I pretty much would not write them off, but this is tonight is a big question. We're going to go a game under 500 if we lose tonight. So it just goes to show you how bad we played. So Seth Lugo on the mound for New York tonight, 2-3 with a 2.63 ERA, going against Aaron Nola of the Phillies, 5-3 with a 2.40 ERA. So guys, I'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow morning. Let's go Phillies. See you guys.